Good Monday evening, Southeast Texas. We're going to take a detailed look at the next 7 days over the next 15 minutes. Welcome to 12 News Plus. Beautiful evening across Southeast Texas, but it's going to be a cold morning for your election day, at least starting off. A lot of areas going to be in the 40s once again. This view courtesy of Market Basket over Port Arthur, part of the Roofing 911 Skycam network. First off, some good news on the allergy front. Tree pollen, weed pollen, and mold are down to moderate levels rather than high levels what we saw last week, so some improvement there. Now, we're going to show this again because it's really starting to rear its angry head, if you will, in your weather outlook. We are looking at La Nina, and that is cold Pacific sea surface temperatures. Well, what does that mean? Well, we're going to be looking at the water temperatures off of the Central American coastline. There is South America, Central America, and Mexico. There's Texas. You see Texas right there? This is La Nina, colder than normal water temperatures. That changes the wind field, the circulation in the eastern Pacific. Well, what does that mean? Well, that means that we're going to cause high pressure to build over that area and shove both the subtropical and polar jet streams far to the north. So the subtropical jet is what guides the Pacific cold fronts and storm systems across California and on into Texas. And that is being deflected off towards the north. So what's going to happen is that high pressure forms over California and the eastern Pacific, and so a lot of the moisture is going to be deflected over towards BC, British Columbia. Then the systems come down from the northwest and are weakened, and a lot of the moisture is wrung out. It also means that the polar jet, the cold jet, is going to be shoved up way over Alaska, but the flow will be more of a glancing blow, and it'll be mainly directed over towards the Great Lakes and also towards the north and east. So where does that leave us? Well, with those jet streams being deflected off to the north, this winter, generally speaking, we should expect warmer than normal and drier than normal conditions. Now, this does not mean that we won't see freezing temperatures, and this does not mean that we will not see any rainfall. It just means that it will be below normal between December, January, and February. And we do not expect any rain the next 7 days. That's why I showed this. It looks like a dry weather pattern, despite the fact that we'll see another cold front coming in on Saturday night. Tomorrow morning, we'll start off on a cold start, and by the afternoon, with sunny skies, should be fairly mild tomorrow afternoon on your election day. Should see highs into the mid 70s as then we continue the warming trend through the end of the week. Could reach the low to mid 80s. Otherwise, here's fast forward into Saturday night, late Saturday night into early Sunday morning. There's the cold front coming through, and it doesn't look like very promising rainfall amounts despite that front pushing through our area. In fact, the latest modeling just does not show any more than a trace across southeast Texas over the next 7 days. So tomorrow looks like a cold start, and we should see a high of about 75. Modeling is much higher than what I have. And I think it may be a little bit chilly tomorrow morning, at least in Beaumont proper. Outlying areas will certainly see temperatures in the mid-40s, even here in the Triangle. But again, if you're in the cities, expect high or low temperatures to be into the mid to upper 40s. I think that's going to be a little too hot or a little too warm. Lots of sun, wall-to-wall sunshine expected in the Triangle. And then for tomorrow in the Lakes area, we're going to go with 75. 46, I think that's a little bit warm. It may be a little bit cooler than that. We're liking 43-ish up towards 41 to 43 up in the lakes, and highs in the mid-70s. So again, I show you my forecast, and I show you what modeling is doing and why I'm doing what I'm doing as far as the forecast. Your election day at 7 a.m. when the polls open should be a cold morning. By noontime, we're into the lower 70s with lots of sun. That'll warm us up into the mid-70s tomorrow afternoon. And right as the polls close, we should be into the low to mid-60s under clear skies. So weather is not going to be an issue for your election day activities tomorrow. One thing that the La Nina is certainly having an effect on is our drought. And again, all of the areas in a level 1 or greater drought. Particularly interesting, or I want to really point out, is to southwestern Tyler, Hardin, Liberty, and western Jefferson, and also Chambers County, with especially Liberty and also over towards western Hardin County under a severe drought. So you're not at level 1, level 2, but level 3 now. And here in Beaumont, we're 6 inches down just since September 1st. Okay, so this will get worse as we head through the next 7 days because we're not expecting any rainfall. And every day that's 1,500, average of 1,500ths of an inch. So let's see, 30, 60, 90, another inch. We'll be well over 7 inches as we head towards Monday of next week, below normal the way I see it. Otherwise, fire danger, wildfire danger, not much of an issue tomorrow, low to moderate threat. So I think we're in pretty good shape there. Otherwise, current burn bans, none over the immediate area or over southwest Louisiana. Liberty and Chambers County still under a burn ban. Otherwise, right now, clear skies across the area. Temperatures are already dropping into the 50s as the sun sets. The Pro Roofing Concept satellite and radar loop. So we have no clouds, winds are going calm, the air is dry, so that is allowing us to radiate the heat that we gain from the sun today out into outer space, driving the temperature at the surface down. And again, we are at one of the coolest spots across Texas, East Texas, because we're closer to high pressure, which is over towards Vicksburg. Otherwise, the rest of the state is warmer because they're starting to see a south and southeast flow develop. In fact, they got into the lower 80s over towards southwest and west Texas, currently in the 70s over much of the state. And there's the high moving off to the east, and again, that's inducing an east to southeast flow. Otherwise, it's just a quiet night across the Lone Star State, courtesy of high pressure in the upper levels. And this is what we see in the upper levels, high pressure over the Lone Star State. So obviously no rain expected the next few days, and probably the next 7 actually. So we'll have to wait on something to bring in rainfall. And as you can see, high pressure over us the next couple of days. Disturbance out in the Gulf, not tropical, but we certainly could use that to move on in, but that's just not going to happen. In fact, it weakens and gets moved off to the east. Now fast forward into, say, Friday night. We'll be watching a shortwave or trough move through the Midwest. That may bring a trough down or a cold front down pretty close to us, maybe even into the lakes area as we head towards Friday night, but it's not expected to bring any cooling. In fact, probably washing out before the next front comes in, and we think that's a day later, coming up Saturday night. Now, this is a little deeper trough of low pressure, and that will bring a cold front through southeast Texas as we then get more of a northwesterly flow. So we got more of a west to northwest flow. Look what happens after this trough goes by. Look how the flow becomes more northwesterly. So we'll be bringing in Canadian air, and that will cool us down early next week as high pressure builds over the Four Corners region. Otherwise, tonight, a quiet night across southeast Texas, a cold night. So be careful with those fireplaces. I think we'll get down into the lower 40s in the lakes area, and the mid to upper 40s and lower 50s. I think Port Arthur, this model is too cool on Port Arthur. We'll go about 50, 51 there. Then after after a cold start, so jackets and coats tomorrow morning. And then as we head on into the afternoon hours, I think it's very easy that we will do high temperatures in the mid 70s. Again, I think that's a little bit warm for us here in the Triangle. 75 is what I'm thinking right now. Otherwise, lots of sun, low humidity, and as you can see, east to southeast winds returning to our area, and that's a warming trend as high pressure will be in charge of our area's weather. On the Gulf tomorrow, looking at mostly smooth seas around a foot with an east wind at 5 to 10 knots, water temperature 71. So instead of the sun rising at 7:30, it's now at 6:30. So the sun, because of daylight saving ending and us falling back, everything is earlier an hour. So it gets darker earlier, but it's also earlier that we get the sun in the morning, so you get more time to use that. Otherwise, for tonight, clear and cold as we go calm in the lakes, dry air, clear skies. We'll go with the lower 40s, could be close to 40 up in Burkeville, 42 in Warren. Inland southeast Texas, low to mid 40s under clear skies, and in the Triangle, it just depends. There are cool spots across the area and warm spots. So mid-county is a warmer spot, Vidor is not. It's a cooler spot, so is China. Outlying areas, as you can see, the cities are a little bit warmer than outlying areas in this type of scenario. So we'll go with mid to upper 40s and lower 50s as winds go calm. So tomorrow, beautiful afternoon across southeast Texas. We're expecting high temperatures into the middle 70s. Again, lots of sun, low humidity, and an east to southeast wind is expected. Otherwise, taking a look at your weather impact 7-day forecast. Beautiful day for Election Day, Tuesday. Wednesday, skies may be partly cloudy Tuesday night, so we go with mostly sunny skies. That'll scatter out, and we'll see highs close to about 80 coming up Wednesday and Thursday. A little more cloud cover. We may get a couple nights of cloudy or mostly cloudy skies Wednesday night into Thursday morning, and then Thursday night into Friday morning. But again, no rainfall is expected with that. And we may pop up into the mid-80s on Friday. You warm weather fans will like that. We're expecting partly cloudy skies, obviously no rain, as that first front kind of stalls somewhere between the Triangle and East Texas, maybe in the Lakes area. Then as we go to Saturday, still the mid-80s, lots of sun. We'll go partly cloudy. Look at the lows coming up. Mid and up, lower and middle 60s. That means humidity will be back in the picture coming up Friday and Saturday. Then Saturday night, we expect the front to come on through probably after 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, Sunday morning, and that will drive the clouds out through the day on Sunday. We'll see our winds turn to the north and northeast, so a drier air mass will filter in on Sunday, and that will drive humidity levels down, and we'll see highs close to 80 on Sunday. And then Monday morning, back to chilly weather conditions, back into the lower 50s, at least here in the Triangle, probably the 40s up in the Lakes area with sunny skies and highs in the lower 70s. So if you're just joining us, looks like dry weather over the next 7 days across southeast Texas. We're looking at a quiet night across our region as we expect low temperatures to be down well into the 40s over the Lakes area and the low to mid 40s and even lower 50s in the Triangle. Warming trend is commencing, and we'll be watching another cold front come in Saturday night, but this front may not even bring a sprinkle to southeast Texas. Unfortunately, we certainly need it, as latest modeling is not showing much of anything, maybe a trace through the next 7 days. So as I said, the drought will only worsen across southeast Texas. Yes, I am speeding ahead because I am running out of time, because tomorrow looks like a fantastic day for Election Day. It's going to be a chilly, cold start in the morning, mid-70s by the afternoon with no issues as far as the weather goes tomorrow. And again, as I said, drought across our area will worsen over the next 7 days. I wish I had better news, because we don't expect any rainfall over the next 7 days. Otherwise, quiet weather conditions. Temperatures are cooling off very nicely across southeast Texas. The skies are clear, high pressure nearby, and winds are light. So we do expect a cold start to your Tuesday morning. High pressure is in charge, and that means dry weather through the next several days. Unfortunately, that high will weaken, and we'll be watching the first trough move up through the Midwest as we head towards Friday night. That may drag a front and stall it across East Texas, but we don't expect any cooling. The deeper trough that will come in Saturday night into Sunday morning will bring a cold front that will push out into the Gulf and bring us cooler weather as we work on into early next week. So as I said, cold start for the Lakes area, as we expect temperatures to be in the lower 40s there, mid to upper 40s and lower 50s in the Triangle. Then beautiful weather tomorrow afternoon, as highs will likely reach the mid 70s across our area. On the Gulf tomorrow, looking at mostly smooth seas around a foot and an east wind at 5 to 10 knots, water temperature 71. Our forecast tonight, lower 40s lakes, as I said, Burkeville, Newton could be close to 40, mid 40s in through Silsbee, back over to Buna, low to mid 40s, and it looks like the mid to upper 40s and lower 50s here in the Triangle. So jackets and coats tomorrow morning. Beautiful weather, lots of sun. Highs should be in the mid 70s. Just a fantastic afternoon to be outdoors with low humidity. And taking a quick look at your 7-day weather impact forecast. Nice warming trend.